Hey Merrick, how you doing? How's your day going? There's a pair of loons that been nesting here for years, and I don't think the female ever showed up. Oh, cutting trees. Yeah, be careful for ticks. They're all over this year. Check yourself for ticks. Yeah, we've had a ton of rain too, and Detroit got nailed. We didn't get the water's way up, but we didn't get damaged like a lot of places did. Where are you located? It's taking it easy. Took Daisy swimming. Hey, Blue. Yeah, it's hot. It's super humid today. Big time. Probably, I didn't check, but it's not that hot, but it's like, I bet it's 95% humidity. Sucks. Yeah, that's how it is here, Steve. Northern Canada, you getting nailed with rain up there too, huh? You hear any talk on the news about when they're going to open the borders? Isn't that crazy, man? 94 in New Hampshire. Yeah, the mom died a couple days after she got down there. She was staying with a brother, I guess. Yeah, you know how it is. I mean, when that happens, I think everybody deep down hopes the best for these people. And she never got out of there, really, till it was too late. Oh, 51. That's not bad. Wish it was 51 here. Yeah, big time. Yeah, nice lady. Yep, she was a nice lady. What a way to go, man. Yeah, yep, staying with her brother. Yep. Yeah, at least she got down there. That's true. I'm not really sure on the timeline with the mother. I don't think that, she just got down there, and I'm not sure when she arrived. For all I know, she was down there 6 months. I don't know. Oh, she died June 3rd? Oh, really? Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, so I guess she just got down there like, end of May, beginning of June. Okay. Yeah, keep an eye on those ticks, Merrick. Get some off bug spray. Spray it on your ankles and arms and stuff. Okay, good job on that. What town was that in Indiana? Is that, I should say. That's another instance of thought-provoking info. If you'd have told Allie's mother when she was a young baby, this is how their life would end up, they wouldn't have believed it. Oh, okay, Warsaw. Oh, okay. I hadn't seen her in quite a while. Probably coming up on a year, maybe. It's close to a year. Oh, thanks, Mechanic Mama. Yeah, it's a tough one. The one son had made comments after an early interview, but until you walk in their shoes, you know how it is. I mean, it's not a stretch to think how you'd feel if your mom ended up in that kind of life. It almost seems like it takes a different dimension, not normal, to accept it. Oh, okay, yeah. See, now I find myself when something like that happens, you couldn't pay me enough to watch an interview. I just stay away from them. It's weird, isn't it? I mean, what would the sense in the whole thing be if when you did that, you wouldn't, you know, hope they'd pull a rabbit out of a hat? I've definitely learned a lot, I'll tell you that. Oh, congratulations, Mechanic Mama. Yeah, see, I don't think that way. Like I say, when I die, I hope they just feed me to something that wants to eat me. I think when you die, that's it. Lights out, nothing. Because it takes organs to create a consciousness. And unless you're both feet in on the soul, I don't think it's any different than a squirrel getting crushed flat crossing the highway. It's over. I had a good buddy of mine die 10 years ago in March. It's the only guy that ever bothered me, the person that died. And I think about that guy's life and how it ended and what he did, and it's really tough to think that it's just gone for good. But it is. Yeah, I don't believe it. I could be wrong. There's no evidence of it, which is why it's faith based. I just don't know what it would be because it's no realm that has ever been verified. Not even a bird lands on the feeder and he does a somersault. All these stories, people want to believe it's like mythology. You want to believe it, but that doesn't make it valid. Everything in our culture relies on proof and a hypothesis, and you have to demonstrate it, except when it comes to death. Hey, working. Oh, how you doing? How's it going? Yeah, I could talk to you about hospice forever. Most people don't really understand the inner workings of them. It's super expensive. Even Obama knew enough not to fool around with hospice. But if you ever see what they charge, it's by no means free. Hospice gets it always. And basically, when you're going around and you're helping people alleviate pain while they're dying, it's hard to create enemies. It's all positive. You get there, and after you've left, you feel better. They get the money up front, they get it during from the government, and a lot of times they get it from inheritance and donations after they've died. The ones that you really want to keep an eye on, and this is a big difference, and it's huge, it's like night and day, is a for-profit hospice and a non-profit hospice. Big difference. So when you donate money, do your due diligence. That doesn't make all for-profit hospice operations bad, but keep your eye on them. No, that happened to my grandfather with my mother too. I think that's a chemical reaction. These people that said they die, you die clinically. Sometimes you flatline, and there's a legal definition of death. So they couldn't say, well, I died and then I was brought back to life. You didn't die. It's just like a nightmare or a dream. I think it is. I was a private detective my whole life. I still have a license, but I don't really mess with it. Yeah, that's what I did I did have a couple brief stints at employment, but not very much. Yeah, that's what I think, Blue. I think so too. Yeah, the same thing happened to my dad, my grandfather, when my mother died. He saw her sitting on a chair in a room. It's like you. I mean, this isn't the same, but I'll give you an example. I've talked about this before. There's been a couple times in my life where one time was about 5 years ago, walking down the railroad tracks. And light does a lot of things. Your brain is counting on something that's going to happen. That's why artificial intelligence is so much different than a human brain, because an artificial intelligence can say that's a red car, it's doing 55 miles an hour, but it can't tell you who's driving it, where the human brain just does so much in one fell swoop. But one time the light was hitting way down the railroad tracks, and I saw it, and I'm not kidding you, it looked to me like the shape of a dinosaur. It did. And just the way it moved, the way the light hit it, it's like nothing up here looks like a dinosaur, right? And it was just so lucky that I got up there and the thing had its back to me. It was eating. It was a typical sized porcupine. But it's the old adage that sometimes things don't seem like they appear to be, kind of like a magic trick. And that's what I think happens. I mean, how many times have you had a dream and you woke up and you think, my God, am I glad that was a dream? Same thing. It's all chemical related. There are drugs that can make you happy, sad, depressed, eat a lot, not eat, love music, hate music, believe, not believe. It's all a chemical reaction. It can make you produce offspring that you didn't count on. Young people having sex. The world's going to be populated even if it's by accident. It's all canned in a living being. Hey, Brian. Oh, thank you, work. I don't know about that. Hey, Stephanie. Well, that's the thing about it, Blue. It's like, far as I can tell, it's either you believe in it or don't. But like I tell people sometimes, it's hard not to get into an argument about Christianity. To me, there's a facet of it that's the ultimate form of discrimination. And when you pin people down, particularly on, let's say, homosexuality, either in the Old Testament or in the New, it's super bad, no matter how you cut it. And a bunch of other things. If you're an animal lover, Christianity in general wasn't particularly kind to animals. I mean, there are statements like, be a good steward to Mother Nature, but they chop them up and use them for sacrifice like it's nothing. So, what other facet of human behavior would be accepted where you're excluded because you didn't believe what they think? According to the Christian, the Jews go into hell. So is the Muslim, the Buddhist, and everybody else that doesn't believe that Jesus Christ was the Son of God. Now, how much more could you exclude someone from a club than making statements like that? Hey, Ray. Yeah, it's like that today, hot and humid. Not the worst, but it's uncomfortable. You know, Cole, I was just south of Port Austin Saturday when I was doing those lives. I was just south of Port Austin. You know, it's funny because it was no big deal there. It was cloudy, but, you know, when I turned west on 46 to head towards Saginaw, you know, I knew I was going to hit some rain, but it wasn't at all like it looked. So it's interesting to me how I was watching on a radar and I didn't really see anything that was heading northeast that looked significant like Port Austin, but I guess it was an F2. See, Mechanic Mama, the thing about that is, though, one thing that I'll give Christianity, and that is, by definition, when you tell me you're a Christian, I know what you're talking about. When you tell me that you're spiritual, I don't. I don't know what that means. Does it involve salvation? You know, is it forgiveness? Is it, you know, you don't know when somebody says that, what they're talking about. If you tell me you're a Muslim, I get it. If you're Jewish, I get that too. Buddhist, yep. But spiritual, I don't know. Believe me, if I'm sure that if when the Grim Reaper comes a knocking, I'm going to be praying my ass off. But if you look at a subject like deathbed repentance, and if Timothy McVeigh asked for forgiveness and was given a shot at heaven 30 seconds before they executed him, I got a problem with that. I think Christianity is a belief and a lifestyle. You have to demonstrate it. Yeah, I mean, that's the truth of it. I've known some badass people. And when it was time to lights out, I'll give you an example. There was a guy that was really kind to me when I was growing up. I went to high school with him, and his son was killed in his junior year in high school in a motorcycle accident. This guy was just miserable, hated everything, talked bad about women. But he did a lot of good things for me. He was always, you know, you could tell he was a good guy deep down, but you'd never know it unless you knew him for years like I did. And I was living in Florida at the time. And I knew that he didn't really have anybody because he'd basically alienated everybody from his life with his temper and his attitude. So I went up to Michigan, not just to see him, but to do something. I went over there and I knew he had terminal cancer and hospice was coming in and he was contemplating shooting himself, but he said he just didn't have the balls to do it. Anyway, long story short, it's like, hey, look, man, you know, what can I do? I think that, you know, let's just get crazy and pull out every last stop. He said, well, what do you have in mind? I said, well, I saw this stuff on TV. It's called Cancel, Cancell. Maybe there's only one L. some miracle cure, cancer thing. He said, "Get me some. I'll pay it for it." It's like, "Nah, I'll get it. No problem." It was expensive, but they gave you a money back guarantee, and sure as shit, he died about a month later, but you couldn't have paid him $1 million to miss his dose of Cancel. The point here is when that Grim Reaper came a knocking, he wasn't open arms to it at all. Oh, no kidding, Ray. I've seen a couple water spouts down in Florida, but I've never seen one up here. So, like I said, I'm sure I'm going to be in the same boat. It's easy to sit here and without a terminal diagnosis and talk all this shit. But I'm sure I'm going to be clutching a rosary and a Bible and every other damn thing I can get my hands on when it's lights out. Never waking up is scary. I think it's the end. It's nothing. You're going to have the same feelings as a paper plate. Yeah, I'm at Lake George. It's a small public access lake 3 miles south of town. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the argument against suicide. And that if you get a chance to interject that into the conversation, that it's nothing. It's not feeling good. It's not feeling bad. It isn't an improvement from your current state of mind. You've canceled out all emotions. That's a tactic they use to keep people from jumping off bridges and that kind of thing. Hey, Patrick. Good, James. How you doing? Like taking off a tight shoe? Yeah, I don't know who would know that for sure. I'll tell you, it's not on the same subject, but I've been messing around with this photography and stuff my whole life, but until YouTube, you never had anybody to show it to. You go somewhere and it's like, you wouldn't go over to somebody's house like, hey, look, here's my photo album. They didn't give a shit. But then YouTube kind of changed that. So sometimes, like, I take my GoPro, I have it in my pocket most of the time. And that's just you'd have to be there to experience it. But that empty factory I was in, and I thought, man, I'm just going to turn this GoPro on, just the sound of the water and this fog coming in. And it's interesting to get people's reaction. Some people think it's the most boring video they've ever watched in their life, and others want to take their whole lunch hour to listen to it. It's so strange how people perceive things differently. Oh, that's cool, Ray. Oh, thanks, James. Now, did you say at the Lake George down there, Farwell, or the one up here in Ogama County? There's two of them. Yeah, see, I like stuff like that too. I'm not kidding you. I could get a lawn chair and sit in there all day reading. It's just something about, there's not that many of those buildings left. That actually, I know it's not the same, but there are similarities to that in the Packard plant and to Fisher Body in Detroit. Just the emptiness and those tinted windows up high to create ambient light. I just like it. Oh, near Claire, okay. Yeah, well, like I said, the last paper on there was 79. Oh, really, Patrick? The old mansions aren't exactly easy to access. Yeah, go to Florida in January. Down there, you'd like it in January. It's a broiler right now. It's getting, they're really ratcheting up having access to abandoned buildings. The main reason is it's called an attractive nuisance. If kids find their way in there and they get hurt, you're liable. The case law is pretty much set in stone, even if they were trespassing. That's the first issue. In most places, it's illegal to be in an unoccupied building without written consent by the owner. And there's different kinds of trespass, civil and criminal. States like Indiana have the blue dot rule. Rather than be forced to put up a trespassing sign every 10 feet, you just paint a blue dot on a tree. And that way it puts the burden on the person that wants to access that property to look up and down that tree line. It's his responsibility to see if there's a blue dot or not. And if there is, you're going to get nailed with criminal trespassing if they catch you on there.
Lily, put your head in there.
I wouldn't say I notice a difference at all. I mean, they say that one of the classic signs of depression is, lack of social contact. I don't really have too much family. I never really, that didn't work out for me in life. I was always kind of distant with my parents. I was a baby they hadn't counted on. My sister was a shotgun wedding. They were both big drinkers, so I never had a normal relationship with parents, so I'm a bad person to ask that question of. I didn't even go to my dad's funeral. Nothing really bad, just kind of indifferent, you know. See this old Cadillac right here? Good shape. People think, they get one of those, wow, this is good shape, they got a nice rides when, vehicles were bigger. What they don't tell you is every shock on that vehicle is about $1,100 a piece. They've got this air ride suspension. There's no way around it. So if you went in to get new shocks, you're looking at about $4,500. Yeah, there's been a lot of fishing. There was a guy here the other day that showed up and used dry flies. And he'd made 12 casts and caught 12 fish. 10 bluegill and 2 bass, one right after another. It was crazy. I had a fly rod. But it doesn't seem like they're hitting the live bait and the lures like you'd think. It is blue. It is why they ride like that. When everything's working, they're great. But that's an expensive fix. You'll notice sometimes, like if you're in big cities like Philadelphia or Detroit, and people are, you'll see them and they're sitting real low. That's why. They went to get a shock estimate and they said, screw it, this isn't worth it. So they just keep driving them. Yeah, there's a lot of largemouth bass in here. Oh, it's expensive. Yeah, it really is.
What?
Oh, really, Cola? AT Stealth. Yeah, I don't know anything about those kits. I bet they're not as cheap as regular socks, though. Yeah, it's Daisy. Yeah, I don't give a shit about it. My dad used to say the definition of normal was somebody you didn't know very well. Now, this guy here is with a couple daughters and a dog. And he's yelled and bitched from the second he got here till now, and they haven't even taken off. Yelling at the dog, yelling at the kids. What a fun day that's going to be. Yeah, I took her swimming twice, yep. Yeah, Jeannie, isn't that the truth? Everything's handled with anger. Oh, no kidding, Penny. Yeah, it's, I bet it's not going to be that big of a fix. You'll find out as soon as you help the guy, but don't hit the panic button yet. Hey, Patricia. Oh, motor and compressor. Yeah, that's as bad as it's going to get. Before you do that, you might want to check on just a new unit. Uh, yeah, I would price out a new unit if it needs a motor and a compressor. It just doesn't make any sense putting that in an old system like that. The new one will be more efficient. Yeah, Michigan. I think a senior's a senior's fishing light's only $12 or something. I don't really have any interest in fishing. I could be wrong, but I just don't see two young girls giving two shits about fishing. I think old daddy I wanted to go fishing and there was no babysitter. There's a place down in Florida, the Jupiter Inlet. where you launch boats. And you know, windy days, you got a wind coming out of the east. There are days that, I mean, that thing looks like it's sink the Titanic. And whenever you get people that have a limited time for vacation, there's a lot of videos on YouTube about it. And I wish I'd lived down there sometimes, because you could just sit out in front of the Jupiter Inlet on a rough, windy day and just get one good video after another of these people in these small boats just doing stupid stuff. Today the cell phone signal's hanging in there pretty good. Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, I know people that have bought or built new houses, and they went to order a washer and dryer, and they're on back order for months. Yeah, there's certain things that like take a while. That's another thing, Penny, too. You might want to check on how long it's going to take to get parts. Yeah, I mean, probably not, but you know, I'm sure in a place like Texas that they're ramped up for air conditioning failures more than a lot of states would be. Oh yeah, window units have come a long way. They're much more efficient. Look, he's bitching at him right now, screaming at him to not stop moving. What fun. Oh, Friday, that's okay. But I would, just for the hell of it, see what the difference is in fixing that in a new unit. Because you'll notice with a new unit, your electricity bill will go down for sure. These people really drop some crazy money on some of these fishing boats. Yeah, it's true, T-Still. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Work in progress. Yep. Hey, John, how you doing? Yeah, that's true. I'll tell you where they're really getting people now. There's certain things like a Cirrus airplane. A lot of people say they love one in warranty, but when it's out of warranty, they hope somebody else has it. Escalades are like that too. I got a buddy that bought a new F-350, and he was going to skimp on the extra warranty. It was $2,100 or something like that. And the headlight assembly like is connected to, you know, everything. It's like $9,500 if it goes bad, so he went ahead and bought it. But the electronics in these new vehicles, they're super crazy expensive. Hey, Joanne. Yeah, that might be true, Cole. Just from the hanging around I do, taking Daisy down here and letting her swim and stuff, doesn't seem hot days produce very good fishing results. I guess if you were fishing for something 200 feet down someplace, it wouldn't matter. Yeah, it's hot and humid, yep. Right. Yeah, right, Jeannie. Yeah, you don't want to be without. It's still till Friday. That's a long way to put up with it. The window air conditioning unit will get you through. Hey, Linda. Yeah, it's humid. It's really humid today, big time. I noticed it was 64 at 4 in the morning last night. Daisy's good. She went swimming twice. This is a day that ends up getting a lot of small single engine non turbocharged airplanes. It's called density altitude. It destroys the efficiency of any wing, any airfoil. Too much of the air is interspersed with water droplets. The prop doesn't get a good bite like on a cold, dry day. If you went out to a small airport today and all things being the same, a plane would take a lot longer distance to get off the ground today than it would during the fall or winter. Hey, don't keep that. How you doing? They used to, but I'm usually gone around West Branch, and I noticed the last few years they've been taking up donations to get people to pay for it, and I don't think they've had them. I'm not really sure on that, to be honest with you. Yeah, actually, Florida Keys is nice. Down when you're down there in the summer, you're planning on it hot, and they get a good breeze down there, so you have a good time down there. I mean, being in a hot, humid day in the Keys is much different than being stuck in Toledo, Ohio. Hey, found it buried. How you doing? Yeah, big time T stealth. Hey, Cheryl. Yeah, I believe it, mechanic on him. Yep. Yeah, Keys is cool. I can take it for about 2 days and I got to get out of there. You gonna go see a drag show? What are you gonna do? Fly out of Chicago with a stopover in Atlanta, probably? That you may end up coming to Detroit to Atlanta to Key West. I like how you can get those food on those carts and stuff. You want to go swimming again, hon? You want to go swimming, honey? Come on, hon. I take you swimming again. Come on, hon. Let's go swimming. Come on, let's go swimming. Let's go swimming. Come on. Come on, hon. Non-stop. No kidding. Really? From Indiana? That's surprising. Want to go swimming, hon? Go pee-pee? Walkie bye-byes? Come on. You want to go walkie bye-byes? Come on, let's go walkie bye-byes. Daisy's not too interested in swimming. You want to go walkie bye-byes? Come on, hon. Let's go walkie bye-bye. Oh, wow, that's a good deal. What are they getting you for a ticket? I never heard of non-stops to Key West. Good for you. I mean, no matter what extra it costs, it's worth it. Okay, good girl. Good girl, hon. $202. Oh, flying to Miami and drive. You know, that's one big, huge speed trap. You know that, don't you? Mainly because of those key deer. Yep, you went swimming. Good girl. Wow. 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 Wow, huh? Ready to go, Bubba? She's in a good mood now. Good girl. Wow. Wow, he's feeling good, huh? Good girl. Oh, Melbourne. Yeah, there's a good place right down the road, India Atlantic. South. It's a great pizza place down there near Melbourne. You can fly right into Melbourne too. You probably know that. Of course, Orlando's not too far. Name one of those key deer. The Zaros. It's excellent, man. Everything is good there. Easy AROS. Excellent. But you're not going to be up there. You're not going to be that far north. She's happy now. It's Daisy's third swimmy today. Yeah, I think it's like 81 here. Yeah, it's super humid today. Yep. See, that's what I mean about the weather now. It's hot, cooler in Texas than it is in northern Michigan. Doesn't make any sense. Hey, Samka. We were just talking about Bizarro's Pizza. Yeah, I believe it, Tammy. That's it. Yeah, just say they found 10 more people or something. I read an article this morning, I suspected this, where they talked about what the estimates would be on some of those repairs. And I kind of figured that's why they were dragging their feet. Yeah, I mean, I got an idea there's a chance they're just going to have to demolish that whole building. That would be my guess. They're going to tear the whole thing down. Yeah, 9 million was a low estimate. And you know, when you spread that out, however many units there are, it's still cost prohibitive. I mean, that happens sometimes with structural issues. It's just, you know, I don't think you could get a. I mean, I'm surprised along the way that certificate of occupancies were issued considering those reports. I'll bet you money they just kind of kept them under wraps and it was something board members knew. I mean, nobody thought the damn thing was going to fall over. Yeah, 15 million. I knew it would be something crazy like that. No, those high rises, I mean, that's the worst scenario being in a high rise. You know, when I was living in Chicago, a lot of people didn't have insurance that owned their condo outright. And, you know, they figured, well, we got a 24-hour doorman, tornado. What's going to happen to it? I'll tell you what's going to happen to it. Your unit gets trashed because someone's bathtub overflowed. There was one incident there where somebody's bathtub overflowed or the toilet broke or something like that. It ruined 11 units. But this happens, Blue. But they should have been inspected all the time. That's the number one. You know, there's a comment you'll hear sometimes that what's the Navy's number one enemy? People say, well, it's whoever they're fighting. It's not. It's rust. It's corrosion. That's the number one enemy of the Navy, corrosion. And I'm telling you, that's a huge problem in Florida. He'll be all right, Simca. My guess would be that there was something inadequate there from day one. That there was an inherent issue from brand new till now. That shouldn't have happened. But we got screwed on our balconies, and because they found a crack in some, and it was just crazy, and everybody got tagged with a special assessment. And basically, you count the units up, and you divide, and that's what you owe per unit. It got so bad with the the homeowners association management company ended up striking a deal with a bank where people could get financing to get their balcony repaired, and just it was like a second mortgage. Hey, backwoods. Yeah, it corrodes everything. I mean, more than you can imagine, though. I mean, it's crazy. Everything's always humid, which is even exacerbates everything. You know, if you had salt and it was cold, it's one thing. When you got salt and it's hot and humid all the time, it's another thing. Well, they have water problems there anyway. If you look up Miami's aquifer, they're about ready to hit the panic stage on the ocean encroaching on their water supply. And that's another almost cost prohibitive repair. I mean, it's time for mankind, at least in South Florida, to pay the piper. Oh, good for you, Backwoods. Yeah, he probably, once you didn't have any warrants and you were current on your insurance, he just decided, screw it, and let you go. Good for you. I mean, I'm not a Florida lover, but there are nice things down there. Wildlife spectacular. So is the crime and homelessness and drugs. And everything's just faded and washed out. Junk shops at every exit. Out of business pancake houses. Bumper to bumper traffic. Look at Florida's insurance rates compared to other places. It's nuts. Auto insurance. But if you look at South Florida, like Miami, there's condos all over the place that withstood all those hurricanes, no problem. And here this damn thing just falls over on its own. There's going to be a lot of asses hung out to dry over this one. I'll tell you who's worried the most is Surfside, or whatever they call that. I don't know if that's a town or a township, or it's actually just a section of part of the Miami. But what those attorneys will be looking for now is negligence on inspections from the government. They're going to try and say, well, if the government have inspected these like they should have, this would have never happened, because there's super deep pockets there. The worst thing that can happen to the homeowners is that you can't lay it on somebody else, because policy limits are not going to cover the cost to replace those units, guaranteed. Yeah, it's a real problem. Yeah, Cola, if you watch, there's companies that specialize in going to places like Detroit and just truck shit tons of vehicles to wherever, right? And try and pass them off as regular used cars. But water damage to vehicles, it's not like the old days, before computers ran everything. I know that some states it's actually fraudulent to sell a vehicle and not give people notice that it had been involved in a flood. Yeah, that air and out's going to work on an older one way better than a newer one. Oh, really, Simca? Oh, I believe it, Pug. Cocoa Beach is right where the water starts to get clear. Cocoa Beach and south. And it's clear a lot of the time up around Indy Atlantic, Melbourne, but not like it is further south of there, like crystal clear blue all the time. And by the time you get your up around Savannah, it's already turning that murky, greenish, grayish colored crap. Looks like sewer water. Oh, reclaimed wetlands. How about just being there and you can't go back in your unit to even move your stuff out of there, and you got to scramble around to find a place to rent, and rent's crazy now, and everything is in limbo. Yeah, that's what I mean, Simca. Yeah, it's so weird down around there, but you can have decent days. But from Savannah north all the way up to Maine, that's not that crystal clear snorkeling water. Martha's Vineyard, Hilton Head, Oh, that's nice of them, Simca. That's nice of people. Yeah, there's some people down there in some real jams. You talk about stress. No, I haven't. Becky, she was on a chat a couple of months ago, and she said she'd call the next day, and I have not heard from her. No, so I would say no, I'm not. All the trailers and boats going north. Daisy's wet, and there's a nice breeze here. Hey, 82, how you doing? Oh, thank you, Lynn. Yeah, it's super slow down there. Now they just got flooded, so God knows how long that's going to take to straighten out. Let me tell you, though, I'm from that area, and this Florida water issue is no news. I mean, every single rainstorm. Now, it may be fixed now because of that new Gordie Howe International Bridge, but my whole life, when you went over to Delray, when you got an inch or two of water in 24 hours, it was flooded all over. Now, it wasn't going into houses, but it was a mess. In those areas now that they're blaming on the pump stations failing, they flood all the time. Southfield Expressway. I mean, this is not rare. Down around Central and 94. This is the effects of a broke infrastructure and no money around. Yeah, well, they're going to need lots of money to straighten this one out. I'll tell you, too, when you look at demolition, especially where you have to contain the debris from like dust and stuff, you wait till they get the estimate on demolishing that condo unit, and who's going to pay for it? Who's going to pay that bill? But demolishing a building under those circumstances, especially with all this environmental crap, and not having it fall over and wreck a bunch of places next to it, it's complicated. Yeah, that's a good question, Dana. That's a good question. Yep. Well, I think these were. I'm not even sure of this. Were these condos owned or were they rented? Does anybody know that? I was under the impression they were owned. I mean, I'm sure there's some people renting them from owners, but does anybody know? Oh yeah, I'm telling you, man. This is like a huge problem. Oh, okay. Yeah, this thing is a this could arguably be the biggest can of worms I've ever known of for a group of people. From the demolition to what's covered to what's not to who's going to be holding the bag. There's going to be a ton of finger pointing over this. Okay, good. So those are owned. So those are owned. People own them. Yep. Yeah, this is going to be a pain in the ass. Plus, while all this stuff's tied up, you got to find another place to live. Here, you owned your own home. You liked living there. You had a great view. And now you got to come up with another 100 grand down while you fight it out trying to get what you're owed on the one that fell into pieces. Well, the names are interchangeable. In Chicago, they call them condos, apartments, but it can go both ways. You can be you're renting from an owner, or you're the owner, one or the other. Oh, their second home. Oh, okay. Oh, so that building, it was that nice. I mean, if you looked at it before that happened, you would consider it like a desirable, nice place. Oh, I'll bet you they do. And not to mention, just what they're finding as they're uncovering this stuff. I mean, now this is like hazardous waste, all sorts of stuff. I'll tell you another problem they have. They don't put this in the media, and that's a bunch of people showing up looking for jewelry and all sorts of stuff. I guarantee they have police and security guards around there. They'd be in there looking for things to steal. Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's people out there, they'll go and take the wallet right out of your pocket when you're dead. Oh, the area, gotcha. Yeah, it's true, Louisville. Yep. Look at Hurricane Katrina. They were shooting at the Red Cross helicopters trying to save people. Yeah, 255, yep. Yeah, she didn't like it. It's a health bar. You better believe it, Cola. Oh, okay, Brian. Yeah. I'm telling you, you'll get to see what mankind's like. If it wasn't for security and police, you'd have people driving from Ohio to go down there with a metal detector. No kidding. People are savages. Hey, Nicole. Oh, yeah, nobody's alive. No way. Guarantee you this one. Frosty prawns? No, I never heard of that. I'll check that out. Well, look at how they had to redo Metro Airport. All those runways on the east side of the terminal, crappy concrete. Somebody told me Whitmer's husband was involved in that deal. I don't know if it's true or not. Yeah, Billy, I found that videos, they get a life of their own. You never know what's going to work. Some of my better or more popular videos I wasn't even going to upload. Those days are over, Frisky. Another thing, too, how about all the people and businesses that live in the area that's going to be disrupted? No, they don't, Simka. Right, Cole. Yep. Wow. Now, what is that? What is a cronut? No, I never had one. I don't really like croissants. And I don't eat donuts much. Hey, Simka, I got a religious question for you. Of the people in the condo, what happened if they didn't have time to ask for forgiveness and weren't saved? Yeah, me too, Penny. Well, no, but it wasn't all Jews. It wasn't all Jews. All right, how about this? What if it was a Jew for Jesus? Yeah, I do, Nicole. Yeah, Lynn, yep. No, but if you fall from salvation and you never ask for forgiveness, under those circumstances, I think you're just hosed. No, it's not usually, but I'm talking about this case only. It doesn't say that in the Bible. I know. Hey, Conan. That's why I go with my religion. If it feels good, do it. I know I'm in or out of the doghouse 24/7, every minute of the day. How are you, Pug? Supposedly, Jeannie. I mean, according to Catholics, other than Jews for Jesus, yes, they're all going to hell. All of them. Yeah, it's true, Frederick. It's all probabilities. These numbers have been crunched for years. They got it down to a science. Look at handicapping sports betting. It's unbelievable. It's almost like they have a crystal ball. Now, that guy may have the ruin. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now, why do you do that, Pug? Why do you do that? Oh, okay. Daisy tries to kill flies. Yep. Yeah, I know, Blue. Yeah, me too, Tony. Hey, Tony. Yeah, Daisy doesn't like the fireworks. Yeah, it's the magic words for Daisy. Yeah, thanks on that, Faye. Have a good day, Nicola. Nicola, I should say. Yeah, it's hot here, yep. Well, that's a good idea, Blue. I believe it, Frisky. No, it's hard to comfort Daisy when fireworks are going off. Oh, you're lucky, Brian. I didn't know you could get M80s anymore. Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead. Yep. Yeah, we got them in when we were in high school. Go down and get them, Toledo. No, I don't know anything about that, Frederick. I don't know. Oh, no kidding, Frederick. It's getting cooler. Yeah, you're right, Brian. Oh, well, that sucks, Conan. Sorry about that. Oh, interesting critter. I wouldn't care if I ever saw another firework go off. Yeah, Janine, how much did you take? How much did you take of Wellbutrin? And did you have the extended release or the regular? Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, it sucks, Blue. They got a local weatherman in Detroit that lost his eye to a firework about 5 years ago. Oh, wow, cool. Yeah, you may not have taken enough Wellbutrin. Oh, no kidding, Penny. Hey, Justin. Yeah. No, I've never heard it used for bipolar, but most of the time it's not for bipolar. There are way better medications. Hey, Lethea, how you doing? Yeah, hot here. Oh, okay. But they probably want to use benzodiazepines with those, which, have their own issues. Yeah, it's a beautiful view here. Yep. All right, Samka. Yeah, it is habit forming. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right, Cole. Yep. It's interesting how they've taken away the big money out of broadcasting in local markets. Bill Bonds was making $1 million a year at one time. That's when, $1 million meant something. Mort Krim was paid crazy money, but those days are long gone. Yeah, he's been dead. Yeah, he's been dead. Getting cooler. Yeah, get one, Penny. They're not that expensive. Oh, cool, Faye. $30. Yeah, I believe it. I bet a Baskin Robbins cake would have been 75. Oh, no kidding, Cole. Oh, interesting, Frederick. Yeah, I like Baskin Robbins if I get one. Yeah, it's a, yep, it is Hey Pug, yep. Yep. Yeah, I think I'm going to sign off here too. Try and get my 10 minutes worth of work done today. So I hope you guys have a good day today. Yeah, have a good day. Don't keep that. Good as possible. Okay, Penny, good luck with that air conditioning issue. See you, Faye. See you, Conan. You too, Alethea. Yeah, see you, Blue. Yeah, thanks for posting that video. All right, Cola. Yep, see you guys.